want to talk a minute here about rich kids. You ever had somebody in school who was a rich kid and they were all snotty nosed and belittled everybody, thought they were better than everybody, and looked down on people and always got smart and tried to tell other people what to do and thought they could flex on them and all that stuff? Did that make you mad when they did that? Well, let me tell you, you should feel sorry for those people. Because that's nothing but insecurity. Because those rich kids hate that they did not have to struggle for what they got. Deep down inside, they hate that. Because they know that they don't really know how to get what they've got. Because it was given to them. So you should feel sorry for them. And pray for them. It's kind of like when somebody wins the lottery, that money's gone in 2 or 3 years, usually. No matter how much money they win, money goes bye-bye. Why? Well, a lot of people say they don't appreciate it. That may be true. But also, they don't know how to get that on their own. And that makes them inconfident, makes them insecure. And deep down inside, they hate that somebody just gave that to them. They wish they had been born on the street where they would have learned all that information from their own bootstraps, where they wouldn't have to be afraid of anybody, where they didn't have that money as a crutch, and they could hold their own with these old boys on the street who've been around the block a time or two. Because when somebody works their way up from the bottom, pulls himself out of the mud with the blood and the scars and the chipped teeth, and then they work their cell phone up and keep pushing, they learn all the lessons that they need to learn to be able to be relentless when they get to that point of power. And to be able to stand on their own 2 feet and say, nobody gave me nothing. They don't feel guilty for what they've got because they know they earned every penny of it. So if you're on the bottom right now and you're wanting to work your way up, you are the luckiest man in the world. Because so many people nowadays have had everything given to them. I would say America, nobody in America nowadays, I mean, there's still a lot of people, but so many people don't start from the bottom. And that's one of the weak points of our society nowadays, is these kids don't know nothing. Because they didn't have to work hard. They didn't have to get their hands dirty. They didn't get the blood and the scars. And us older people have a tendency to say, well, that's good. We don't want them to go through what we went through. Well, are you sure? Do you want your children to grow up and be vulnerable by somebody that's been on the street, seen a thing or two? Is that what you want? It's going to be a weak society when you have a bunch of young men who've never seen any action, who have never gotten a fight at recess, who never had to stand up for themselves but have been sheltered their whole life. I don't think that's a very good thing. So these rich kids, these rich little snotheads that come in and try to flex their daddy's money around and their wealth, try to come in and start off, you know, they go into a social club or something, and everybody just automatically just falls all over them and promotes them just because of who their daddy was, just because of their money. I'm telling you right now, those people feel terrible on the inside because they feel vulnerable. And that's the worst feeling a person can have. That is the worst feeling a person can have, to have something that they feel like they didn't earn, because it puts them in an extreme state of weakness. But if they had worked their way up from the bottom on their own, they would know exactly how to get what they got, again, if somebody took it all away from them tomorrow. And if somebody starts off from the top, has everything given to them, and for some reason they got it all taken away tomorrow, say they went to jail for something, somebody set them up and they went to the pen, got in with the wrong crowd, and they got out of jail and all their wealth was gone, they would have no idea. They would be worse off than a person who's lived their whole life on the street, because they don't know how to get what they've got. So you should feel sorry for those people, and if you are one of those people, which many people would say that I am, I mean, if you had anything in America growing up, if you're able to buy a gallon of gas, if you're able to fill your tank up with gas right now at $4 a gallon, you're doing better than 90% of the world's population. So, really, there's nobody in America who grew up in a home with parents. There's really nobody hardly anymore that wouldn't be considered a rich kid by the standards of the world. But if you are one of those people who goes around and snubs your nose up at everybody, looks down their nose at people, you better stop right now. And you better humble yourself and get down and dirty. And I'm not saying start off from the bottom, but you better get down and dirty with people so you can learn those hard lessons.